Hi there, this is Olivia, continuing my creative process playlists. First, I want to say that now that I'm making more videos more often, it's too much for me to write all the scripts and review them and also rehearse them before I make the final videos. So I'll probably be looking at my screen a little bit more to check my notes. So sorry about that. Now on with the tutorial. I want to get to the parts most people rely too much on, which is collages. Like maybe I am to blame here, because if you found me because of this portfolio video, you're probably thinking that collage is the way to do it. You have different components in your research, so you piece it together by putting it together. Simple, fun, surrealistic, avant-garde, super original. The problem is when you start thinking that collage equals design and you're ready to jump to the final lineup. It looks real, so what's the problem? I mean, you could take these things and try to recreate it in real life, and it could already be fabulous. But since we're talking about a process, I encourage you to see the collages as initial studies. And of course, they're initial studies that can inform other studies that you can now go and proceed to do in real life with real materials. A collage can inform color, texture, materials, silhouettes.
Not just collages, a picture can inform all these sort of details, so don't go crazy making collages or over editing your pictures on Photoshop.
And it can tell you where to start working on the mannequin. And here it really doesn't matter if pattern cutting is not your thing. For example, you can go to the thrift store and buy like some interesting or just cheap oversized stuff, because you're just gonna play around with them, slash them, turn them like upside down, inside out and upside down, mix and match with other pieces. Like here you can do collages with, you can do collages in real life with real garments. And like you just need to play with ideas at this point, and remember to document your experiments. So you can do that by taking lookbook style pictures. So you just go like front, side, maybe 3/4 and back. Whee! And you can also make videos. Videos are great if you want to like get a friend, get a model, or even yourself, and then you do some sort of performance art shit. And then when you like download your video, you watched it, and then you get screenshots of the most interesting parts. Ooh, fine. So dumb. Why do I do this? And if you are making these really crazy and insane shapes, then go and get crazy non-traditional materials. Like which ones? I mean, I don't know. Wadding, foam, even these are quite like everyday for like CSM people. But I don't know, get whatever, but don't be so literal that you think like, oh, I want to make like these really square shoulders, so I'm gonna get some concrete blocks. Don't do that. That's not safe. That's gonna hurt. Now, one way I've seen short courses try to innovate and tackle this problem of people making collages and calling it a design is by telling their students not to look for any sort of fashion or garment reference, like nothing wearable. Go look for any other kind of research, go look into something completely different, then you can make some collages with that, and then you build what you see. But then they do that with calico and paper. And I really hate that, because calico and paper are actually not very original materials, and they're actually quite limited. I was like, sure, if you keep like twisting and turning calico, like eventually you will get some interesting shapes. But paper and calico can only go so far to reproduce the richness of colors and textures that you can find in nature, architecture, fine arts, furniture design. And then I see so many students, they just keep on twisting and crunching their calico and paper, and they can't see past that. So what was the point of not looking into garment reference because it was limiting? I'm not a fan of this method because the second step is usually to, okay, now you're gonna, like, you did these things, and now you're gonna take pictures and make collages with your 3D work. So then comes like, okay, these scrunch papers that in real life would be this, put it on a template, and it becomes this. And without any garment reference, do you even know how you would construct these pieces? Or like, even if you're just adding some sort of harness, you still need to figure out how a person can put it on. And but most importantly, I think that you need to understand it yourself, what your project is about. Is it about making like stuff that is wearable, or are you gonna make these wearable absurdities that just happens to be wearable if you put on a harness and like put it on? Like, you're free to do that, because at this point I'm assuming you're not thinking of a product that needs to be manufactured and sold in shops. In conclusion, my opinion is that this is still a pretty basic way to work. For example, even if you're just using calico and paper, look at a collection like this by Nakao in São Paulo Fashion Week, I think in 2004. Like, the execution of this makes me believe the designer's intention, that he wasn't just trying to be radical and avant-garde by making paper dresses and then tearing them. Because if you look up closely, the shapes are actually quite classical. It could actually just be a cutesy thing if it weren't for his whole concept. Other example, Comme is always making collections with like calico looking fabrics or like white fabrics, and there's always crazy stuff happening, but clearly it's all garment inspired. Or for something completely non-garments, you have Hussein Chalayan's coffee table dress. He made some other stuff, I'm sure, and he literally used the non-garment, non-textile, no clothing whatsoever thing on this look, and he didn't do it simply like to be different. So wrapping up, you got research images, and then you went and did collages. That is great. You weren't just looking at a mood board on Pinterest. But now you have to remember to honor it. Really extract the details that make it unique and beautiful. Look for ways you can recreate it and or add your own spin to it. And we're still very much at the beginning, so keep it simple. Like, don't already go thinking about like professional printing techniques or professional weaving or knitting techniques. Just keep it simple, keep it like super handmade, keep it small, keep it cheap. And this is not the time to be stressing out about, oh, is it gonna be enough for a whole garment, or is it machine washable? Like, you don't need to worry about this stuff. This is just hitting the panic button a little bit too soon and preventing yourself to like moving forward with your work and your process. So yeah, any questions, leave them in the comment section. You know that I always reply. And if you need more guidance and more supports, check out my mentorship sessions on my website. Until then, I will see you on the next video. Bye.